Biafra, superstars, media.
My people, now how on a day I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media and I'm holding it down. I say may God bless Biafra and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency ESN Ekpa Simon Njoku, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra is coming, in your hands Biafra is safe, and in your hands, when Biafra comes, the people, the children, the men, the women, the poor, the rich, the sick, the healthy, the civilized and uncivilized, those living in Biafra and those living around the bight of Biafra, we shall rejoice because we shall see the light from the tunnel. Biafra shall become a shining beacon for all those who are weary, those who have lost their way in Africa. They can come home, come closer, come near, as the name goes, Biafra. Bia means come, Fra means near, close. Come abode, you are welcome. Come and stay, come and take succor, come and become a well-wisher. You are welcome, we welcome you. We are open for business. Come to home. Laissez-faire, laissez-passer. In France, it means free movement, free transit. That is what Biafra is. During those days, when Africans are migrating, they get to this area they call the Bight of Biafra. And they know they can relax. They are welcomed to enjoy the fresh water from the River Niger, do their fishing, take care of themselves, and before they continue on their, on their journey or whatever. So my PM, we believe in you. We know this thing called Biafra will be back again from the 2nd of December. My people, today, this one touched me. I see from a French channel, and I felt I have to do justice to this one. One of or two of the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu, one of them known as Maxwell Okpara, he is outspoken, the man you're seeing in the video. He has been speaking again about Nnamdi Kanu, about the ordeal of Oyendo Nnamdi Kanu. And this time around, I won't even hold you back for too long. I want us to sit back and relax and hear what he's got to say about Nnamdi Kanu. Let us hear from the lawyers. Hear what they are saying about the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Don't forget, I've always said, give what belongs to Caesar and to God. Give what belongs to Nigeria and to Biafra. Allow Nigerians to handle their affairs while we, the Biafrans, we handle ours. That's all we are talking about. But for the fact our leader Nnamdi Kanu is in the hands of the enemy, for the fact that those around Nnamdi Kanu, those they call the DOS, for the fact they sold Nnamdi Kanu to the enemy. So we need to keep an eye on Nigeria and see how they are going about their affairs dealing with Nnamdi Kanu, even though we know Nnamdi Kanu can get no justice from Nigeria, even though we know Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer, even though we know that even in the world they don't see IPOB as a proscribed organization, the real IPOB, which is us, not the IPOB Nigeria, even though we know Nnamdi Kanu was set up by those around him. But for the fact he's now in Nigeria, you cannot throw away a baby and the bathwater. He's now in Nigeria, so the legal team who are doing what they can do, they are doing it, even though we know they will not give him justice, because we know Nigeria very, very well. We know the devil called Nigeria. We know the criminals, the fraudsters called Nigeria. We know the government is corrupt. We know the judiciary is corrupt. We know the police is corrupt. We know their politicians are corrupt. Even the media, the dirty, gutter, devilish, satanic media of Nigeria, they are corrupt. They will not speak when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu. They will not speak when it comes to the Biafrans. Even when their soldiers are buying us, they come out and say they love their soldiers. Even when the thing has to do in the land of Biafra, like in Okwama, the soldier will tell them not to go to the scene, not to visit the scene, not to report about the news, and they will accept it that way. Nobody will complain. They will not say the media has to be neutral, the media is independent, the media cannot be curtailed or cajoled by the government. They will not say that because they know when it comes to the Biafrans, they hate us. But today, I will calm down. I want us to hear the legal team. Oh my God, I'm so angry, but these guys, they are lucky. I will respect the legal team. Let us hear what they are saying. They've come out again to say things about Nnamdi Kanu. So make we sit back, relax, hear what they've got to say about the ordeal, the travail Oyibo of Nnamdi Kanu. If you are with me, let's go there. Listen.
I want the world to know that Nnamdi Kanu is not facing any prosecution. Nnamdi Kanu is facing persecution. Persecution in the sense that since the history of law in Nigeria, it's well established that Nnamdi Kanu is the only defendant in the history of law in Nigeria that does not have adequate time and facility as provided by Section 36 of the Constitution, which gave an accused person a right to have adequate time and facility to defend himself. What do I mean? You recall that some time ago, as his lawyer, when I went to have a discussion with him at the DSSS, my right was violated, I was intimidated, I was stripped to half naked there in DSSS. I rushed back to the Federal High Court and lay my complaint through originating processes. And after looking at all that happened, the court said yes, Nnamdi Kanu's rights was violated, granted all my release, and directed the DSSS to apologize to us and stop intimidating us and to pay me 5 million naira. That particular judgment was not appealed against. That particular judgment is still subsisting and valid. Now, we took the same application to the same Federal High Court, stating the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu should be taken away from DSSS. DSSS is a prosecution. You don't need to have a law degree for you to know that you can never be a judge in your own case. The principle of Nemo Judaism, you can never be a judge in your own case. Anytime we went to DSSS to have a discussion with our client Nnamdi Kanu, the DSSS will set up gadgets, send the officials to come and monitor what we are saying. Right from the gate, they will search us. Whatever documents that the confidential documents that I'm going with to discuss with my client, they will collect it, take it to the legal department. The legal department will read it, photocopy it, before they will hand it over to us. Whatever minutes I collected from Nnamdi Kanu, as I'm coming out, they will collect it from me and snap it. So, in other words, there is no defense. And we have pleaded time without number that please, if you don't want to release him on bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center. These are the people that we are trained on how to keep a suspect that is facing trial, and we call them awaiting trial suspects. If you go there, they apply professionalism. They will give you all the necessary materials, provide a secluded place for you to have a discussion with your client. Even those that have been accused of treasonable felony, those that have accused of terrorism, they never treated them like this. Not to talk about a freedom fighter, somebody that is fighting a just cause. Now we approach the same Federal High Court. The same Federal High Court refused to hear our application. I am talking about Honorable Justice Minta Nyako. Several applications has been made. In fact, one of them, he said that I'm not going to hear what happened in the other court.
Wow.
He said it. Now, on the last adjourned date, we are crying. Look at our predicament. Somebody that is going to face the trial. We are about to commence trial in line with the Supreme Court judgment. Can you direct these people? Can you direct that Nnamdi Kanu should be transferred to Kuje prison? He refused. She refused. She refused only to tell us that there is no security in Kuje prison, quoting the judge. You pressmen were there on that day. Now, you are now telling us that if Nnamdi Kanu is convicted for whatever charge you have, is he going to serve the prison term at DSSS? The answer is no. Now, what it means is that the captain Nnamdi Kanu there, so that Nnamdi Kanu will not have a very fortified defense. This thing you must let the world know, because I saw one person, though I don't want to call him a journalist, because I know those who are journalists. He wrote in social media that Nnamdi Kanu don't want to face trial. These are our challenges. That one is on that. Remember that the Supreme Court also said, after admonishing the judge, I don't want to use the word after insulting the judge. I don't want to use it. I prefer to use the word after admonishing the judge. Okay. Say that the judge ought not have revoked his bail. And in the first instance, in other words, impliedly, Supreme Court has reinstated that bail and asked the court to make the pronouncement. But that is where I have an issue, because you don't destroy our jurisprudence because of Nnamdi Kanu. Without Nnamdi Kanu, there must be Nigeria. With or without Nnamdi Kanu. So you don't, whatever thing that we are stating today is going to be a precedent. Now the question there is that what stops Supreme Court judges from exercising their power under Section 6 that gives them unlimited power to reinstate that bail? They referred us to Federal High Court. Now we went to Federal High Court as a surplusage to apply for the bail. The bail was rejected. Now we have now made fresh application asking the court to comply with the Supreme Court. Remember that time when I addressed you people, I told you that what happened in that court that day is an act of Federal High Court setting aside the judgment of the Supreme Court. You don't do it.
Lord have mercy.
In our own judicial jurisprudence. Now, we have applied. We brought 2 applications now. Either you reinstate that his bail, take him to Kuje prison, or send him to a private house for house arrest. You can take him to other state government house. You can take him to other state liaison office. You can take him to Imo State government house. You can take him to Imo State liaison office. If you feel that it is even comfortable for you, Mr. Madam George, please, you can send him to your house so that you will be sure what we are talking about. Personally, and I have said it, and I have told Nnamdi Kanu, for the fact that you will be here, I have not prepared you for this trial. I, Maxwell Opera, will not come to defend you, because I don't defend people because I want to defend people. I defend people so as to get your own side of the story and advise you accordingly in line with the rules of my profession. I have not heard from Nnamdi Kanu. I have not advised him, and I want him to go and defend the first trial. First trial for what? So you people should. So if the judge failed to reinstate his bail, send him to Kuje Correctional Center, send him to a private house for house arrest, then we are pulling out. You people should have it. We are not going to, so that not when we pull out on that day, you say that we abandon Nnamdi Kanu in court. No. Because the question my colleagues, everybody will ask me, when you're having these challenges, why do you still go ahead?
Hold it there. Hold it there with all due respect. I'm angry now. I'm boiling. First of all, I want to call out on those who were doing their protest. You claimed one of your itineraries, one of the things you were asking for was for the Zoo government to release Nnamdi Kanu. Last time I checked, your 10 days protest is now over. It is done and dusted. And Nnamdi Kanu is still being languishing in the DSS custody. To the idiots they call Benjamin Kalu. That fool that said that the Biafrans should be weak. You told the people of Biafra to be weak. For the first time in their lives, they should be weak and stay at home because you are working something out with Tinubu. The so-called election, or what they call it, the protest is over. Thank God our Prime Minister told us to remain at home. My question to that fool they call Benjamin Kalu, how come Nnamdi Kanu is still being held in the DSS dungeon? How come when Tinubu wants a deal with you, it's easier for him to tell you to come and tell us to be weak? But now the ball is in his court to release Nnamdi Kanu. But no, they don't play ball when the ball is on their feet. They don't play the ball back to you. They only ask you to play ball when you have the ball on your feet. So it's you that have to do the kicking all the time. You told the Igbos, you came out live on TV crying to the Igbos, the so-called Igbos in the southeast, telling them to be weak. We must be weak. You say you are the most loved politician. They should be weak because you have an MOU with Tinubu. You have played your part now. How come Jagaban has not played his? How come Shetima is not playing ball with you? You see, when we say these idiots you call your politicians, when we say they are stooges, they are criminals, they are weak, they are looking for bread from the crumbs from the table of people like Tinubu and the rest of them, you guys don't understand. Today the election is over. By proxy, our prime minister told us not to come out all across Biafra land, and we chose not to come out. So it means by proxy, the idiot telling us to be weak, he is lucky that our prime minister told us not to come out. So by proxy now, he can go to Aso Rock and tell Tinubu, say, oh yeah, Jagaban, I have played my part. I've asked them to stay at home. They stayed at home. For the first time, they were weak, according to him. We didn't protest, but they are asking for the release of Nnamdi Kanu as part of the deal, part of the agreement to stay at home. Can you do that? No, you can't, because you are a coward. You guys is what they call the UI, the useful idiots. Men like you, men like Emeka Anyonku, an old man who has a very good career, but he has chose to tarnish his image in the 11th hour. If he was in the pension, or if he was in the Western world, he would have been a pensioner by now. I even believe he gets his pension from the Commonwealth. He's a pensioner. But this greed for money, this greed for power, he came out and he said they are the patriots. And they are coming out with the People's Democratic Constitution. You want to make Nigeria to be peaceful. You want to make Nigeria to work. But the fundamentals that has destroyed Nigeria, that has destroyed the fabric of Nigeria, you have refused to look at it. That your son, Nnamdi Kanu, was kidnapped from Kenya by the same government you are trying to go and discuss a People's Democratic Constitution with. Fellow Biafrans, can you see how foolish these your so-called stakeholders are? Look at the Yorubas. When they held their brother Chief Sunday Igboho, they did what they had to do. Even some of their elders, they went to Benin Republic. They lived with Chief Sunday Igboho in custody, making sure that the Beninois government does not send him to Buhari in Aso Rock. Because the plan of Buhari was to lay Chief Sunday Igboho in his hands. But the Yorubas, they did what they had to do for their son. They were there for their son. But those that told you to be weak, those that told you not to protest, the politicians, they said they had, what have they got to enjoy? What is the part of the agreement? What's the caveat for not going out to protest against Tinubu? They told you, oh, they will release Nnamdi Kanu. They have a plan. How many months? The so-called governors, criminals, are discussing to release Nnamdi Kanu. How many months and counting now? The protest is over. Man, for those who still believe in Nigeria, for those who still want to give Nigeria that benefit of doubt, now God go punish you now. Fiakwa. Bomb bastards. When we are telling you guys there is no hope in Nigeria, all the hopes you have in Nigeria should be squashed, flushed under the toilet or something like that. Because Nigeria is gone. Nigeria is dead. The only way we shall release Nnamdi Kanu is through a prison escape, exchange. With all due respect. Because I don't like the legal team to be distracting us every time they come out with a video and they say things like this, and you start to assume that, oh, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Nigeria is about to change. The president is now a born again. You start to assume, you start to, play, your mind start playing tricks on you because you assume that the devil, a criminal, will change. You expect a criminal to change. A criminal enterprise known as Nigeria, a project called Nigeria. Nigeria was never meant to be a country or a nation. All what Lord Lugard did was for business purpose, for commerce, to amalgamate the North and the South. That way you streamline the government. You don't need a deputy or a PA to run the North, another PA to run the South, a secretary to run the Northern Protectorate, a councillor to run this. Before you know it, you are duplicating the government. So what he did was to amalgamate them, because the plan was for him to move towards the South, because the South was where the money was. The South, there was coal city, there was coal in the South. And Britain said, hey, there seems to be more money in the South. Lord Lugard, we need you to move towards the South and keep an eye on what's going on, because we are now, experiencing lots and lots of resources. We need more coal. We need more, transaction from the South. We are getting more revenue from the South. Even till this day, the same way the Mietiala and their cow, they are coming to the South. There is something about the South. They have grass in the North, but they want to come to the South. That was how Britain told Lord Lugard, we need you to leave that North. We know you love the weather. You love the scorch hot sun weather in the North. We need you to move to the South. But he was being selfish and greedy. He said, not really. I think I can actually run it, from both ways. Who do you want to send down to replace me? With all due respect, there's no need for that. I can just, amalgamate these two, and make them one, and I can run it from everywhere. You don't have to waste money on, sending someone else back here, because, I got this. With all due respect, I got this, man. Just allow me, to amalgamate them as one. Will save more cost. And that way I can be running side by side. And they allowed him. Britain, they're very, very selfish. Economizers. They are miscellaneous. They are misers. They love to save. They love to exploit. And they allowed him. That was the biggest mistake they made. Because they allowed two different peoples with different culture, peoples with different way of life. You allow them to come under one accord, under one umbrella, under one house. Two strangers, two strange bedfellows that don't see eye to eye. When we were in the regions, the North, they were maintaining the North. The East were maintaining our Eastern region. The West, they were maintaining their West. There was no back and forth. The only people we had the rapport with are those from the Cameroon side. We had no business with the North until Lord Lugard did what he did. The idiots they call a Lord Lugard. Frederick Lugard. I won't even call him Lord. He did what he did. Until this day, my people are paying for the sins, for the mistakes, for the actions and inactions of a white man. Oyibo again, white man. But today, when you go to Britain, they are insulting the blacks and the Asians, telling them to go back home. To the Yorubas living in London, hello, how do you feel? To the Yorubas living in England, how do you feel? Hello, how do you feel? Seeing the whites looking at you, telling you to go back home. The same way you were insulting my Biafran people in Lagos. Igbos, go back home. Oh, Igbos must go. How do you feel now that the white man is telling you in England to go back home? You see, this life, what is good for the goose is good for the gander. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. How do you feel? That day they come, you see, whatever you give, you will get back. Go to England now. What is happening there now is a racial attack. They are telling the immigrants, even those with passports, if you are black, if you are brown, they are saying go back home. How do you feel? How do you feel? Think about it. At least this one, now white man, somebody with a white skin is telling you to go back home. But you in Nigeria, is your own brothers, the same skin. You claim you believe in one Nigeria. People who have the same birthright as you are telling them the Igbos must go. But in this case, Britain, the British, the Brits, the Englishman, the Welsh, those from Northern Ireland, the Scottish, they are telling the blacks and the brown to leave. How do you feel? You see, this life, man, this life na papa. This life when they live so. This life na papa. How do you feel? Now you are calling them, oh, they are racist. No. I keep saying it. Tribalism is worse than racism, because in racism, at least you know your enemy. They have different skin tone as you. When they are coming, you will guard yourself. But in the case of that zoo, those that look like you, the same skin, the same complexion, under the same so-called country, they look at you and say, Omoibo. Oh God, Allah have mercy. Oh man. Please, let's just digress from that nonsense. Let's just stop that nonsense and continue. Let me just hear this man. Go on, please.
Like where you are traveling, and they told you that their armed robbers are on the road, kidnappers are on the road. Instead of you to withdraw and probably suspend that travel, you continued. And when you died, everybody will blame you. That one is on that. Now, on the proscription of IPOB, I want to also use this medium to correct you media people, because we will begin to take legal action against you people. When you call IPOB an upload or proscribed IPOB, IPOB's proscription is being challenged. And once it's being challenged, you dare not call IPOB a proscribed organization. I am also using the case of Nnamdi Kanu'S and federal government of Nigeria, because when Nnamdi Kanu'S was ordered for his release, nobody released him. Nobody released him. So federal government held on him until they filed their notice of appeal. So it's been challenged. And I also enjoy you people. We have been able to raise it in black and white for you people so that it will be easy for you. IPOB is an organization registered there in Germany, registered there in almost all the whole countries in Europe, in America, and Asia, with people that are responsible. I'm talking about professors, I'm talking about reverend fathers, reverend pastors, I'm talking about captain of industries that are members. And IPOB has its own aims and objective. It's in black and white. What they are looking for is there. IPOB paid their dues. IPOB, they had their meetings.
Let me hold it here. Let me hold on there. All due respect, I don't want to hear about IPOB Nigeria Limited, because it's a bit convoluted. That discussion is a bit convoluted. Oyibo. Okay, it's a complex one. I don't want to confuse our listeners, because we don't sail past that level now. My fellow Biafrans, in rounding up, I will not continue with this video because the way things are going, we all know what to expect from Nigeria. For those who think or those who thought that the politicians, they were speaking all this while to release Nnamdi Kanu, you are wasting your time. If not for Simon Ekpa, by now they would have locked Nnamdi Kanu and thrown away the keys. And nobody would speak about him again. That was the plan. The same thing they did to Uwazurike, how they useless Uwazurike. That was what they planned with Nnamdi Kanu. Because what they did in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, they bought everybody around him. Those who claim to be IPOB, that we now know they are IPOB Nigeria Limited. Those who were calling out the names of the ESN commanders. Lord have mercy. Man, this life, wow, this life is complex. 1 minute you think people they are with you. Nnamdi Kanu thought this guy is there with him. He was happy. He was swearing that, we are whiter than snow. They swore an oath, and with this oath, anybody will break the oaths. The person go, he never knew. If you like swear oath with the devil, you're wasting your time because the devil knows its place. The devil belongs to the pit of hell for those who believe in devil and Satan and the Lucifer. So if you like, swear any oath where you want to swear. What is worse than hellfire? Devil know in destination than hellfire. So if you like, they swear oath to say, if you break this promise, this will happen, this will happen. What is worse than hellfire? Nothing else. No other calamity can come on the head of the devil that is worse than the bottomless lake. So those who were swearing oaths, they turned around. They are the ones who were calling down the names of the ESN commanders. To be an ESN commander, you would have as well sworn oaths of the highest degree. But lo and behold, Chinas Anwuru was there calling out names. Live on air. In within 48 hours, the DSS will go out there to the location and buy the commander. So when I said allow the dead to bury the dead, now you understand. When I'm saying that, yes, the legal team, they have spoken well. We appreciate what they've said. But in most cases, you must allow the dead to bury the dead. We, the Biafrans, we have no hopes in Nigeria. We sabi Nigeria well. Even though the legal team, they've done all what they could. They've gone to court. They said, Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. He was, discharged of all cases. They said, no, he wasn't acquitted or something. I mean, this is what you are left with. A criminal will always find a way to rope you in. A thief will always be a thief. Only a thief can tell the footstep of another thief. If you like, go court to the justice will say, oh, this case, we cannot hear about the bail. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. To the legal team, Aloy Jimako, you are doing a good job. Maxwell, I see you. I understand what's going on out there, but please keep your head up. You've done the best you could as humans. You have tried to do the unthinkable in Nigeria because even the blind can see that nothing good can come out of Nigeria. Nothing good. If not, why are they still holding a man who is like a prophet unto them? Because all what he has said about Nigeria has come to pass. He told us they are coming. Today there is kidnapping everywhere. Today there are herdsmen in your farms, in your villages. Look at Borno, look at Benue, look at Jos. IDP camps littered everywhere. Ogun State, there is IDP camp there. They are coming for your gold, they are coming for your land, they are coming for your oil, they are coming for your resources. Look at what happened in Oyo State, Ibadan, on the 15th of January, I believe. The bombing in Oyo. And the governor, Sheyi Makinde, came out and said, oh, those that did it, they are illegal migrants. No, illegal miners. illegal miners. Even the governors, they are powerless against the Fulani cabal. Illegal miners, men that came from Mali, men that they got a contract from Buhari to come to Ibadan to mine your gold, your resources. Osun State as well, the gold in Osun, people can, in fact, you guys don't know what is happening. They are coming. They have come. He told you they were coming. They have come. Yet they are still holding him. He spoke about the coming of Tinubu to be your president. Like the man who saw tomorrow. He told you what will happen. And they are angry with him. So the more they want to hold him because they are angry. How dare he expose us? This man, Nnamdi Kanu, he made us to hasten the project. You know? Because their plan was to start with a strike from 2022. But when Nnamdi Kanu exposed them, they come weak. So they had to rush, hasten things up. My Lafia was in Nigeria where he spoke about them. And they buy that one quick. They poisoned them, they buy him. That one died off. That's the cabal for you. That's the cabal for you. So for you to be expecting justice, Lord have mercy. For you to be expecting justice from their court, you are wasting your time. I rest my case. For those who have ears, let them hear. For those who have ears, let them hear. From me, from here, for now, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra, Superstars Media. God bless you. Bye-bye. Yeah, Biafra, Biafra. Yeah, Superstar Media. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra. I wanna know. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. I wanna know. We going back to the land. We going back to the motherland. Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the motherland. Tell me about Biafra, Biafra. Tell me about Biafra. We going back to the land.